Hey guys, Geno Zero, how you doing? I hope all is well in YouTube land, whatever part of the world that you are in. Okay, we're going to continue on a little bit with our Raising Rabbits series. We're going to call this one Caring for Mamas and Babies and stuff. So we're going to use this rabbit up here for our example because most all rabbits are going to be the same as far as whenever they kindle and they have their babies. We on our cages we have our nest boxes built in. It usually takes between 30 and 32 days from the time that you breed your does to the time that they're going to kindle or have their babies. Ours, 31 days seems to be the average for our babies, and then they start having their kits. Kits is what we call the little baby rabbits. So most of the time, if you're going to put the nest box in, if you have a cage that doesn't have a built-in nest box and you put their nest box in, I think it's recommended on day 28-ish, somewhere around there is when you go ahead and introduce the nest box into the cage. That way the doe has time to get her smell on it, and you want to fill it full of straw or hay or grass. And the does underneath, you can see on this doe rabbit here, hi sweetie, right below their neck there, they get a nice big tuft of fur right here, and they'll go into the nest box and they'll pull their fur out, and they'll line their nest with their fur. So as you can see in this one right here. Oh, hello, little ones. Here's some babies right here. You see we've got our nest box we had lined with straw, and you can see there's a big pile of hair back here, which is where this is where she has her babies back here in the corner. And every time you open up the cage, there's going to be hair flying. But usually if you just put some straw in there, then the doe will do the rest. Hi, sweeties. Hi, little sweeties. So on our built-in nest boxes, you'll want to do the same thing on your nest boxes that you place inside. You'll want to put some grass or some straw in there, and then the doe will go ahead and line it up too. Whenever the doe has babies, okay, they're like any other thing. They're producing milk, and they're feeding their babies. But they're not like another animal as far as, well, they'll just lay in the nest box with their babies. Rabbits are pretty skittish in the fact that that's their nest, that's their hole. In the wild, they don't want anybody to know where their nest is, so they hide them. This is kind of the same principle. The doe, she won't be in there laying with the babies all day long. She'll go in there 2 or 3 times a day for a couple of minutes just to feed them, and then she's back out. She doesn't hang out in there with them. And plus, handling the babies, maybe for wild rabbits, if you found a nest of wild bunnies and you handled them and they got your smell on them, then the doe may not take care of those babies. She may be afraid of the smell. But we've never had any trouble with our tame rabbits as far as handling the babies and having the doe not take care of them, because they're used to us, they're used to our smells, and they know that it's not a danger smell. So that is not, when you have tame rabbits, that usually for us anyway is not an issue, and I have not heard of anybody who's had issues like that who raises lots of rabbits. Wild rabbits, I don't know. Very probably if you come across a nest of wild rabbits and you mess with them, then their mother won't take care of them because of the human smell. So having said that, the does do produce milk, and a couple of things that you can do, especially in the springtime, is dandelion flowers and dandelion greens, or any kind of greens, clovers, green grasses and stuff like that, will help them. One, it'll help them produce more milk, and two, it'll give them some extra minerals and vitamins and stuff that are in the greens that they can't readily get from the feed. So, and they all just love them. Here, mama. So we'll give them a couple of flowers a day. When you first start introducing the flowers, you don't want to give them too many off at once because it'll give them the runs. They'll get diarrhea from the obvious diet change. So we'll start them out with 2 or 3 flowers a day in the morning time, and then maybe 1 in the evening time. And then over the course of the next couple, 3 or 4 days, you can add another one at a time. And give them a couple of leaves at the same time from the dandelion plant. That helps give them, dandelions are really healthy. They got a lot of vitamins in them. And if it works for us, then it will work for them as well as far as the vitamins go. So there you have it. These bunnies here, I'm not quite sure exactly how old they are, but usually at 6 weeks is when we'll wean them. And you'll see that it's obvious it's time to wean them, because they'll start jumping in and out of the nest box. Mama, she'll tolerate them, but she won't really have a whole lot to do with them, meaning that they'll start eating and drinking on their own. She'll show them where the food is. They'll come and they'll bug the crap out of her whenever she's trying to eat. If you put greens in, they'll be right there with her eating them. And then at 6 weeks or so is when we'll go ahead and pull them out and put them into a grow out pen and let them finish growing out for another couple of weeks before we're ready to sell them as pets. Also, a couple of days before the doe kindles, or before she has her babies, you will be able to see that she's obviously uncomfortable. Her belly's going to swell. She will look pregnant. And if she looks like she's having any kind of trouble as far as being comfortable, believe it or not, you can put a little Tums, a Tums, like an antacid tablet. You can put that in there, and that'll give her some extra calcium, which will help her muscles with the contractions. This is just what we do. I'm not saying that this is any kind of I'm not an expert rabbitologist or nothing like that. I'm just a dude who raises rabbits, and this is what we found out through experience. Tums will actually help them calm down, and it'll help their digestive system, and it helps their contraction muscles and stuff to kind of make it a little more comfortable and a little more bearable for them. Not all rabbits will eat it. If they need it, they will eat it. If they don't need it, then they'll just shove it over to the side somewhere and just kind of play with it a little bit. If they don't want to eat it. So, a couple of little tricks and tips. If you're gonna kindle in the wintertime, make sure that you have warm. Make sure that you put extra straw or hay or insulation in the nest box. And if there's not enough hair, you don't think that the babies are going to stay warm, then you may want to add a little bit more to it. As you just gotta have to kind of play it by ear. But cold rabbits are usually dead rabbits. Same thing in the summertime. If it's the middle of summer and it's really, really hot and muggy, and you have a doe that's about to kindle, then you may want to, like we did, we have some computer fans on our cages to where we hook them up to solar panels. We hook our fans up to solar panels, and that'll create a breeze, a little bit of air to help cool the rabbits off while they're kindling. Because also, cold, wet rabbits are usually dead rabbits, and extremely hot rabbits are usually dead rabbits. So you want to try to keep them at a nice springtime temperature for whatever part of the world that you're in, and the rabbit breeds that you're using are used to. And that's about it as far as raising them and having them kindle and taking care of the mamas and the babies. Most of the time, nature will take its course. Sometimes you will have a doe that won't take care of her babies. If you check in the nest box and your babies are 2 days old and they look really, really skinny and they're not hopping around or they're not popping, doing anything, and you have another doe who has babies about the same age, a lot of times they will foster the babies. You can take those bunnies from the doe who's not caring for them, put them in with another doe who is caring for her babies, and she will go ahead and take care of those babies too. Sometimes. It doesn't always work that way. Sometimes the babies may be a little too far gone and she won't take care of them, but it's always worth a shot to try to save your bunnies. We have had a couple of our does foster other bunnies, and it's worked out great, and they went ahead and raised them up, and they were happy, healthy bunnies. We have had also some that the mothers didn't want to take care of them, and the foster mother wouldn't take care of them either. So sometimes it happens that way. That's just one of them things about raising animals that it's not a good thing, but it sometimes happens. So be prepared. If you start raising rabbits, you prepare yourself that sometimes you will have some that are stillborn, or some that don't make it, some that the mother will try to feed, but she'll lay on top and suffocate instead. Things like that happen, and it is very sad when it does happen, but don't beat yourself up because it's nothing that you are doing or aren't doing correctly. It's just sometimes things happen, and they're out of our control. So there you have it, guys. Good luck with your bunnies. This is the season where a lot of us are having our babies, or looking to start getting into raising rabbits in the springtime, and hopefully these little video series is helping y'all. We will do, I think I'll take I have a video about breeding rabbits. I'll go ahead and rename it and add it to this series of raising rabbits when we breed them. And we may do another one whenever we wean them. We'll show you what the bunnies are doing and how they're acting. And when it comes time to wean them away from mama here in the next couple of weeks. So thank you guys very much for watching. Y'all have a great day. God bless. The end. Buzz, the end.